Hey, everybody. Oh, I forgot to change y'all's word of the day. Doggone it. That was my word of the day from my last class. We're reading A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. So it's relevant to their class, but you guys can do it. I'll change it for the break. But you got it. That's cool. That's cool. Who solved the puzzle? Anybody? Let's see. Kaylin, you did, it looked like. So close. Okay, well, we'll give you guys a couple minutes to finish the jigsaw puzzle if you're working on it while we get prayer requests. The jigsaw puzzle? Oh, okay, cool. We finished up the book, so the puzzle is the end of the movie. Actually, it's what we read in the epilogue. If you haven't figured out what it is yet. Oh, okay. All right, who's got prayer requests? We'll start there. Paul, you didn't? Like overall did not like the book or didn't like the ending? You and your sister are getting your wisdom teeth out next Thursday. Oof. At least you'll be on anesthesia together. That'll be fun for your mom. Did we think that okay, so what we wanted to happen was Winnie to live forever? Wanted her to drink the water? Really? Even of all the things we talked about being bad about living forever, still wanted her to live happily ever after, and when we say ever after, we do mean ever after with Jesse. Talk about an eternal marriage. You think so, Siggy? So you think that, the epilogue could have been left off and you could have imagined whether she did or didn't drink the water? That way you can make the ending what you want in your head. Because I didn't want her to drink it. I liked the ending. I thought she made the right choice. Paul, look at you, you old romantic, you. Some folks don't like ambiguous endings like that. When I say ambiguous, I mean unclear endings. Like they leave you wondering what really happened at the end, filling it in for yourself. Some people find that really unsatisfying. We want to be told what happened. Well, Siggy, that's how how people are different with their opinions of things, right? Sure, sure, sure. Anybody working on the Sudoku? How popular is it? Yeah, quite a few people. Cool. All right. I'm digging it. Oh, Elsie, no. That's a big dislocation. Your hip. Dang, girl. And now you got to be careful because once it pops out once, it's more susceptible to pop out again. Dadgummit. Okay. Oof, makes my legs hurt. All right, so we got those things from Elsie to lift up in prayer. Yes, Elsie, the wisdom teeth out is kind of a big deal. It is, hun. I got mine out a few years ago. I was able to wait till my 30s. It's a big surgery. Just gotta be careful for a couple weeks after, and then things are so much better. Oh my gosh, mine were growing against my other teeth. It was a mess. You'll be okay. Don't drink out of a straw after you get them out, okay? I never got dry socket, but they say it is the worst. Oh, good, Paul. Dad back at work. Good, good, good. I hope that's a good thing. Yay. Colton, something about the suction pressure of when you drink from a straw after you get a tooth out because they have to your gum is still trying to heal over. It'll like open up the wound to the nerve, and apparently it's really, really painful. No, no, we switched over. Elsie's got some other health things going on. She's getting her wisdom teeth out next week and popped her hip out of socket. Oh, Mallory. Okay, got to heal yourself up. All right, girls, let's keep our legs healthy, okay? Okay, let's get to that prayer list. Hopefully it gave some folks some time to finish the puzzle, because once we go out of this area and into the lesson area, it'll reset the puzzle for you. So you can do it again after you get back in the break. But let's open up with a word prayer, then we'll go. Heavenly Father, I thank you for everyone who is in here today. I want to particularly lift up Elsie and her sister as their surgery is coming up, and Elsie's hip. Please bless her body with all of that. Please help Mallory to heal as she is recovering from some strenuous physical activity. We want to thank you for the blessing of Paul's dad being back to work. We want to thank you for all the other blessings that are making our hearts soar today. We thank you for the goodness in our lives, and we pray for the challenges that may or may not have been voiced. And these things we ask in Christ's name. Amen. Yay. Okay. Got to come in here now. We are talking about verbs today. Going to do a little bit of sing-songing, but before we do that, let me announce this before I forget about it. We don't have class next week. We are on fall break. So between weeks 6 and 7, 6, 7, whatever, we are going to be off. So we do not have class next week. Ow! I know, Colton, me too. Now I'm going to be like catching up on some grading and doing things over the break. So, okay, what does it mean for our homework? You might be wondering. If we have a week off next week, you just get extra time to complete your homework. I know, I'm seeing that funny. Okay, cool. All right. Moving on. Let's talk linking verbs. Last week we learned about action verbs. Action verbs are easy to picture in our minds, but linking verbs are not easy to picture. There's no movement happening with a linking verb. They do this, and that's all. They don't do anything else but link. And so it's not obvious whenever we see a little word like a linking verb in a sentence that it's a linking verb. But here is how I have found it's best to remember them until you get really used to what they are. We put them to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm going to sing it through once. Juliet has heard her older siblings singing this around the house, I feel sure. Have you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're about to learn it now. I'm going to sing it through the first time so that you can hear it. And then the second time, I want you to sing it along with me so that you get a feel for it. It should be in this week's green folder as well. Let me take a peek. It isn't, but I'll get it up there shortly. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, I'll sing it through first. And a one, and a two. Is, are, was, were, am, be, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, can, will, shall, being, could, would, should. Got to slow it down on those last three. Okay, now I'm going to sing it through again. And you, in the privacy of your own home, can sing it along with me. No pressure to be stellar. Right, exactly. Okay, sing it with me. I'll do the bouncing arrow so you keep up with me. And a one, and a two. Is, are, was, were, am, be, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, can, will, shall, being, could, would, should. There's not a song long enough to put all of the action verbs in it. And besides, we would not want to have to memorize all the action verbs. There are just thousands and thousands and thousands. But linking verbs, there are only, in this list, there are only 23. These are the ones that aren't real obvious to be, linking verbs. Also, notice that I said that these are linking verbs and helping verbs. You know about helping verbs and main verbs? Yes? So sometimes they're that. Okay. So cool. The nice thing about memorizing them this way is if I come across the word like must, gosh, that's not obviously a verb to me. Let me run through my song. Is, there, was, where, am, be, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, can. Oh, it's a verb because it's in the Mary Had a Little Lamb song. I tell my students, even if you memorize just the first and the second lines, maybe even the third, if you don't memorize the entire thing start to finish, it's good to memorize at least some of it. A musty room. Right. But must can be a verb in that case. All right. I'm going to highlight some words. Has, haven't, had. They are in this list, but they're in there because they're helping verbs. By themselves, they're not they're not linking verbs. But we'll unpack that later, just kind of as an aside. Now, linking verbs, their job is not to show an action like our action verbs. They don't really add any flavor to the sentence. All they do is they link the subject to the predicate. Something is something else. The old truck is brown. Is one of our main linking verbs, is and was. Okay, give me this equation in numbers. I'm sorry, in words. So write it out in words. 2 plus 2 equals 4. What's another way to say it? 2 plus 2 is 4. Siggy, did one of your sisters say that? She's like, say is. Good for you. That's right. Remember when you were first learning word problems? Hated those. Hated word problems whenever I was your age, but they were a fact of life. But I do remember that when you're learning to do word problems in math, certain words stand for certain symbols, like this thing means plus. The little minus sign, less than or subtract or, minus is the word that goes with it. In equals, it didn't always say equals in the word problem. Sometimes it said is, and we were taught that if you see is, that means equals in you're trying to set up the equation from the word problem. So why are we talking about math word problems? Because grammar ties into like an equation. A sentence is like an equation, especially a sentence with a linking verb. So the linking verb kind of works like an equal sign. And notice that we said, 2 plus 2 is 4. Look at the very first word in the verb song. Is, are, was, were. Oh, okay. So linking verbs are like equal signs. So let's see if the equal sign thing works with a couple of these examples. Grammartown is a nice place. Grammartown equals a nice place. Do you see how that equal sign kind of works in the sentence? Even though, it's words on both sides of it. Yeah, you got to bend your imagination just slightly, but it does work. John is a good sailor. John equals a good sailor. Oh, okay. What's on one side of the equal sign is the same thing as the other. It's just kind of like one completes the other. Cool. So we understand that part. Yay. Let's see if Jed has something. We are going to use this. Random information. Correct. Okay. Would the word equals be a verb? The word equals, the word itself equals, is an action verb. But whenever we use the equal sign, that would be like in place of a linking verb. Isn't that nice and confusing? Never had anybody ask that, Jen. Okay, so the linking verb is what we're worried about with the equal sign, okay? Okay, so some verbs in our language, now this is fun. Some words can sometimes be used as action and sometimes be used as linking. What? Okay, I call these the sensory verbs. What are our five senses, by the way? We're missing a very important one for humans. Arguably our strongest sense. We already said touch or feel, yeah. Sight. Mhm. So a lot of verbs in our language kind of tie to those um, those senses, right? It sounds like, it tastes like, it smells like, it looks like, it seems like, it feels like. So words that kind of go along with the five senses. There's not a fantastic list that I've ever found that is easy to memorize or anything. So just think about the five senses. Okay, so how do I know when one of those sensory verbs is being used as action or when it's being used as linking? Because it will matter in our quizzes. Jane smelled like apples. Jane equals like apples. Jane is like apples. Does the equal sign work there? Jane is like apples? It actually does work there. Like over here, Gramertown equals a nice place. Gramertown is a good place, a nice place. John is a good sailor. Jane is like apples. So we're not saying that Jane did the action of smelling for a deeper explanation to this. She's not taking the air into her nostrils, the senses, the she's not, you know, sensing what it is, and then the brain is telling her something. It's not the action of smelling. She smelled like apples. She is like apples. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do a couple of other examples to try and drive this home. Jane smelled the apples. Jane equals the apples. Jane is the apples. Does that work in no, it does not. So, when the equal sign works for smelled, we have a linking verb because linking verbs work like equal signs. When the equal sign doesn't work, Jane is actually doing the action of smelling, and then it's an action verb. Okay, let's do a couple more examples. All right. Jose looked toward the canal. Jose equals toward the canal. Jose is toward the canal. Or did he actually do the action, the function of looking? Is he toward the canal or did he? It's action, right? That equal sign doesn't really work there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let's do a couple more examples, Colton, to see if it'll drive it home for you. Jose looked friendly. Jose equals friendly. Jose is friendly. Does that work? Sure, I could easily say Jose is friendly. Oh, so looked as a linking verb instead of an action verb. Jose's not actually doing any looking. He looked friendly though, so looked is linking Jose to friendly. Okay. Do I have another example? I might. Who has any questions about this? Colton? Okay, Colton, it took another example or two for him to lock it in. Who else needs a bit more instruction on this? Okay. We understand the linking verb equal sign thing. But now it says, I get it. All right. So let's find the verbs in here and tell whether they are action or linking. This is very much what you're going to be doing for homework this week. Okay. I am glad to see you. What's our verb in here? Am. Okay. To see is something else. I'm going to put that in parentheses because it does look like a verb, but it's not really the verb in the sentence. All right. So am, action or linking? Hold on, we're not done. We found the verb in number 1. Now we have to tell what kind of verb it is. Is, are, was, were, am, be, been. Linking. If I don't remember the Mary Had a Little Lamb song, I could also use the equal sign trick. I equal glad. Yeah, that kind of works, right? Linking verb. All right, let's do a couple more. It is nice today. Is. We say linking. Is, are, was, were. Oh, it's the very first one. Ta-da! And it quite literally is the equal sign, right? So yeah, that one works. All right, number 3, I like it too. Ooh, okay, so we know what the verb is. Some people are saying action, some people are saying linking. Try the equal sign trick. I equals it. I am it. That's right. AVP. Action verb predicate. Action. Okay. Siggy brings up. Okay. Hold on. Just so we're not distracted and jumping ahead. Give me another minute on number 3. Siggy is asking about, okay, is this a helping verb? Siggy, the only way that we can have a helping verb is if we have a main verb along with it. So if I say I am swimming is helping verb am, main verb swimming. It's only a helping verb if it has another action verb helping, that it's helping. Does that make sense? Okay. Cool. Now, number 4. You look peaceful under this tree. Look. Ooh, that's one of the senses, right? So is look going to be action or linking? I'm seeing linking as the answer coming up. Juliet, though, is saying action. Do the equal sign trick. You look peaceful. You equal peaceful. You are peaceful. It works. Linking verb. You can test any verb this way. If the equal sign works, it's linking. If the equal sign doesn't, it's action. Okay, let's try number 5. They smell nice. Smell, oh, one of the senses. 3 votes for linking, 4 votes for linking, 5. Nobody's saying action. They smell nice. They equal nice. They are nice. It is linking. Paul, do you see why it's linking, not action on number 5? Okay. The path is paved now. Ooh. Paved is part of it. There's a helping verb with the main verb. Uh-huh. That's going to be action. Well, think about the action pave something. The path is paved. They were pouring concrete or they were putting bricks down. I mean, that's an action thing to do. Well, Jed, like I was telling Siggy earlier, is part of it, but let's go back over here to my linking verbs song. There we go. I said that these are linking verbs, but they are also helping verbs. Mhm. Mhm. And when it's attached to to an action verb like swimming or paving, something like that, then it kind of works together for the same job. Okay, coming back now. Almost why we do these practice things, huh? Okay. I will walk with you. Is, are, was, were, and be, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, can, will, shall, being, but it's not alone. It's with walk. Well, will is helping, but walk is part of the verb too, so it's a main verb, so they work together to be the action verb. Good. Of course, walk is one of the first action verbs we go for. Walk, run, jump. Ask me those questions if and you need to. Are. Linking. Ooh, Colton, just are by itself. Linking. Is, are, was, were. Oh, I don't even have to get past the first line. Okay. All right. Oh, that's a pronoun. Help. Action verb. Good. That's weird. The verb started the sentence. Most of the time we have the subject first and then the verb happening. But on number 9, we started the sentence with the verb. It's like a command sentence, right? Oh, help me up. Come over here. Give me a high five. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that we understand why we answered what we did on all of these, because it's just like your homework. You'll be finding the verb, telling me action or linking. So if you have a question, please ask me. Or if you're just like, I'm really confused about this one. Why was this one? I don't know, like maybe the question isn't formable in your minds, but you're confused about number 7 or whatever. Correct. So Colton, I'll put that up in my notes. So the AVP is equal, oh my gosh, equal sign doesn't work. Verb shows action. Okay, LVP, the equal sign does work. Oh, good question. AVP is action, verb, predicate. And LVP is linking verb, predicate, because the verb is the start of the predicate side of the sentence. It's just the term that they use in our workbook, so I teach it that way. Good question. Explain why you're cooked. Yeah, really. Cooked as in my brain is fried. I've learned too much today. Cooked as in I think I'm going to fail this quiz. Cooked as in literally I'm getting burnt right now. It can mean all kinds of things. Okay. No specific questions coming up. We're going to move along here. All right. We're not going to learn about all the verb tenses that there are out there. There are a bunch. But one of the cool things about the part of speech of verb is without saying that something happened in the past or something's happening now or something will happen in the future, we just change the form of the verb to communicate that. So Jacob walks to work. I mean, he does that currently, right? Like he has the job still and he's walking to it every day. Jacob walked to work, meaning that he has done it and it's over, right? Jacob will walk to work. Oh, it hasn't happened yet. All of those thoughts go through our minds whenever we hear a verb tense. Something interesting about verb tenses is that's where we usually see our helping verb, main verb working together. Now, these are not separated when we label them. These are both an AVP, an action verb predicate. It's like they work as a team. We call it a verb phrase because it's multiple words doing the same job. But there you go. Yes, exactly. There are other types of tenses out there. We have perfect tenses, not meaning that they don't have any flaws about them. They're just so perfect. No, it means that whatever the verb you're using is, it's implied that it's been completed. Perfect just means completed. Don't have them planned for today, Paul. Okay, so the present perfect tense, Jacob has walked to work. He had walked if it was past perfect. He will have walked if it's future perfect. Now, wait a second. Look at that. I have two helping verbs to go with that one main verb walked. I can do that. I can put more than one helping verb together. Yeah. If you're making a certain type of tense. What is, I will give 5 points if you know this. What is the maximum number of verbs we can have in a verb phrase? Anybody know that one? How many verbs can we have in a verb phrase? I'll give you an example of a 3-worder. William, 4 is the answer. 5 points for you. I will give 10 points to the person who can give me a 4-word verb phrase, 3 helping verbs and a main verb. William plus 5. Who's going to get the plus 10? Oh, good try, but that's not it. Will have been swimming. William gets the 15 points total from this. William, you know your verb tenses, my friend. Will have been swimming. He has used a future perfect progressive tense. Nope, yours was not a 4-word verb phrase. You can't just list 4 verbs together. You've got to have 3 verbs and a main verb, and that's what William did. William, how did you know that? You just busted out with it. Could have been Mr. Google. Colton, let me look at yours. I will have. Actually, will have is your verb phrase there. To go is an infinitive, not part of your verb phrase. Walk may be, okay, I can see walk being will have walk, but then to work is something else. So yours isn't 3 helping verbs with the same main verb. Like will have been swimming. William, how did you know that? Because you like knew it. He knew it was 4 and he knew how to make it. Thank you. He's going to tell us. I would say that was a strong guess. I bet somewhere in your memory you knew that already. So that's how you busted out with it. Everybody's like, "Nope, no, not buying it." Williams had some intense verb training before. Right, not so. All right, cool. Loving it, guys, loving it. That's all for verbs today. Maybe, it could have been. All right, our confusing words of the week. Could have guessed. There's a three-word verb phrase, Juliet. Maybe he's just really fine-tuned on all of his verbs. Our confusing words of the week are muscle and muscle. Who spells this word, and in your brain, you're saying muscle so that you spell it right? Of course, the C is silent, technically. Or the C is soft, I guess, really. But I spell it muscle, my muscles. I know, right? All right, what about this muscle? Do you? I love mussels. He's got some big muscles. He might have some big muscles while he's eating big mussels. Maybe so. Maybe so. Mussels are not popular with everybody to eat because they're kind of chewy, but oh my gosh, I like them. Mm, I wouldn't say everybody loves them, Elsie, but you know, couldn't hurt to try it. If you like other types of seafood, like if you like shrimp and crab, and especially like if you like oysters, things like that, then you probably will like mussels. Ah. My granddaughter, who is 8, was on a summer softball game team, and her little team was called the Mighty Mussels, but they were this kind of mussel, Mussel, and the little girls who were on the team thought that they were the Mighty Mussels, and I explained to her, I'm like, "Oh, but it's not muscle like your muscles, it's muscle like the clam," and she was like, "What?" She's like, "What's mighty about a mussel?" I'm like, "Ew." I didn't name the team. So, they were purple, and they had other sea creature names for the other teams in the league too. So it made sense that they were the Mighty Mussels, but like one of them were the Sea Dragons or something like that. I'm like, well, that's a much tougher name than the Mighty Mussels. What the heck? Who came up with that one? Little bit of alliteration there too, right? The Mighty Mussels. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I kind of liked it. Let's see. All right, let's take our 5 minutes because we've got a lot of rhyme to talk about. I don't think we'll have a good time to take a break if we keep going that way. Speak life, speak life. All right, let's go into the warm up area. You guys can work on the puzzles and such. Let me change the Wordle and to something more relevant. I'll fix it here in just a second, and then we'll take 5 minutes and come back and finish class. Okay. Anybody figure out the new Wordle? I had a hard time thinking of a word. Got it. Well done. I'm bad about only thinking of long words for Wordle. I realize that's not the point of Wordle. Wordle's supposed to be like 5 letters. And I go like, oh, the 8-letter words will be fine. Yep. Okay. Now let's talk about poetry for a few minutes. Okay. When people typically think of rhymes, they think of a very short, simple rhyme like cat and hat, moose and goose, lava java. Okay. But We have patterns of different kinds of rhymes in there. Where do we see now poetry is about seeing the patterns and hearing the patterns in the sounds of the words. But why is that so catchy to us? Think about the repetition that we have all around us. What are some things that are not poetic but are repetition and patterned anyway? The way we shape our mouths, okay. For instance, these stairs. Ah, uh-huh. These stairs, there's a pattern there, right? There's a pattern as you go up and down them. There's a rhythm. What are some other patterns and rhythms all around us? Some repetition. Patterns that you see, patterns that you hear or feel. Elevators, okay, kinda going along with the stairs. Piano keys. Oh my gosh, yes, curtains and the way that the curtain is stretched out over the curtain rod or blinds. Ah, hair can be in a pattern, especially if it's in curls, right? Rugs can have patterns on them. Our heartbeat is in a pattern, isn't it? In repetition. Waves in water, like in a pool. They're in a repetition and a pattern. Wheels are a pattern. Once you start thinking about things that are in a pattern and things that have repetition, I mean, it's all around us in our bodies, in things that we make, in nature. It's just all over the place. So it's not a surprise that poets often find patterns and repetitions that they use in poetry. It's too in our world there's just too much of a presence of that repetition for it not to be something strong that we are gravitating towards. All right, so let's talk about rhyming words. That's a repetition of sound that we enjoy hearing. What word in this column rhymes with flake? Flake and grape? Close. Thank you, Jed. Ache. Okay, what about ring? Sing. How about catch? Match? Tape? Grape. That's easy enough. In the textbook where I got this information from, it says that rhyme is one of the most important techniques in poetry. Would you agree that rhyme is supposed to be in poetry? It's very important. Who gets bugged if you read a poem that doesn't rhyme? Siggy's like, give me the free verse. It needs to rhyme and it needs to be perfect, right? I think the majority of people feel that way. There are rules in poetry, you need to follow them. In fact, that's one of the things that we get challenged with in poetry when we're like, okay, we got to write a poem. Oh, I got to find a rhyme for this word. How do I rhyme with orange? Well, you will this year. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Poetry can be boring. But think about this too, though. Your songs that you listen to, your music. Everybody likes some type of music, right? Most of the time with lyrics. Do our songs have rhymes to them? Yes. Of course they do. There's a song by, oh my gosh, it's 21 Pilots. I know it's gotta be 21 Pilots. Um, I wish I wrote a song. Oh no, gosh, what is the verse? I wish I wrote a song that didn't rhyme. Um, I wish I could understand where it's coming from or something like that. Like he's got a section of his song. He rhymes the whole rest of the song, but a couple of lines that are supposed to rhyme don't. Yes, my name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. And so he takes those couple of lines and he doesn't rhyme them. And I swear, every time I hear it, my ears glitch because I'm like, that's supposed to rhyme. And he's like, but he does it on purpose. Like he even says, I'm supposed to rhyme and I don't. It's such a good song. It's getting a little old, but it's still so good. I like when he talks about the candle in it. You know, I wish that he's talking about the songs for the smell from his childhood. I wish I could make a candle out of it, but I'd only sell two, me and my brother. Oh, it's good. It's called Blurry Face. It is 21 Pilots, correct? Siggy, you might actually recognize it. It was super popular when it came out. 21 Pilots. Ah! Give her a listen after we're done with class today. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mom would sing us to sleep when I was stressed out. Yep. Anywho. All right. So rhyming is a part of our music. It's a part of our poetry. Even if you're not a fan of poetry, we know that you're we know that you're a fan of music. Is it called Stressed Out? Maybe it is. I thought it was Blurry Face. But so when you give that song a listen, I may have put one of those earworms. I know you can't get it out of your head. You got to listen to the song. Listen for those lyrics that don't rhyme, and your brain goes, no, why did you do that? But he did it on purpose because we expect the rhyme so heavily. We love that pattern. We need you to rhyme, right? So, what we're listening for the most part, is that end rhyme. What is an end rhyme in poetry and in music? It's when the words, the pair of words that we're rhyming, at the ends of the lines, they're either like right next to each other in a pair, or maybe they're like every other line rhymes, something like that, like said and head, white and right, sun and none, brain and again. You can hear the English accent there. Brain and again. This is a little poem that you can find in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But end rhyme, that's what we're listening for. When we say that a poem does or doesn't rhyme, we're saying that it either does have end rhyme or it doesn't, because that's where we hear it. It's gross. Did you guys know that all right, when you get a song stuck in your head, usually it's like the same verse or the same chorus over and over again, right? Fun fact, the way to get an earworm out of your ear, to get that song out of your head, is you listen to it from start to finish. What your brain is doing whenever you have a song stuck in there is it's trying to finish the song for you, but it's on a loop. And so you listen to the song and it's gone. That's the cure. There's a cure for earworms. I know, right? Isn't the brain fascinating? Oh, man. Okay. Sometimes, though, we do have rhymes, but they're not at the end of the lines. What is that called? It's called internal rhyme. Ow. One or both of the rhyming pair is in the middle of the line. This is Alfred Lord Tennyson. Doesn't that guy look absolutely crazy? Look at that hair. Dude, who picked out that hat for you? There it is. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Fun fact, he was a raging alcoholic and he did spend time in an insane asylum. Mhm. But he was a celebrated poet. So I guess that's what he wants to be remembered for. And he was dubbed a lord. His middle name wasn't Lord. He was dubbed Alfred Lord Tennyson by Queen Victoria. She loved his stuff so much. I have not, Paul. Okay, so he uses internal rhymes. The splendor falls on castle walls and snowy summits old in story. The long light shakes across the lakes, and the wild cataract leaps in glory. Wake up, you need the money. There it is. Okay, so that's internal rhyme. We've got end rhyme. Both of the words in the rhyming pair are at the end of the line of poetry or the song lyric. Internal rhyme is where you've got at least one of the words is in the middle of the line. Get it? Middle, internal. It's pretty logical. All right. This is one of my favorites. I rhyme. You won't find this in our music, in our song lyrics, because sometimes we read song lyrics with our eyes, but most of the time we're just listening, right? And here's the thing about an I rhyme. It looks like it should rhyme, but it does not sound like it. It's like your eyeballs and your ears are arguing with each other in an I rhyme. Your eyes are going, yes, it does. And your ears are going, no, it doesn't. Because the sound didn't go through because I had to cough. Both of those words end in O-U-G-H. So do they look like they should rhyme? Ends in the same exact 4 letters? Yeah, you're supposed to rhyme, but our ears go, through and cough, not even close. Like the vowel, consonant, nothing is the same. Okay. So they do not rhyme with the ears. They only rhyme with the eyes. Can you think of some other I rhymes? Words that look like they should rhyme, but the ears go, no. Hmm. Think of pairs of O-U-G-H words. O-U-G-H can make several different sounds. Yeah, Paul. That sounds fun. My name's Blur. Now I'm going to have to listen to Blurry Face. Blurry Face, then I care what you think, or I'll listen to it in my head the rest of the day. Loose and Rose. Colton. That's an I rhyme. Very good. Loose, rose. Doe and bow. I rhyme. Good. They're asleep. Where are they at? They're not even in the room with me right now. Tough and doe. Good ones. Yep, I prefer the O-U-G-H ones. Those are the easy ones. Okay, so that's an I rhyme. Rhymes with the eyes, but not with the ears. Okay, so what did we learn about today? We learned about end rhyme, where it was, they're both at the ends of the lines. Internal rhyme, one of them is in the middle. And I rhyme, they look like they should rhyme, but they don't sound like it. All right, moving on to talking about Tuck Everlasting. Oh, so May saves the day, yet okay, do you think she should have done what she did in cracking the man with the yellow suit over the head? I mean, she killed him, all right? I mean, she did. She did. She killed him. She done it. But we kinda see why she did it. Uh, man, as Christians, we gotta Paul. As Christians, we gotta, well, I mean, she killed him, but it was a self-defense. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no fun. All right. So she kills him, cracks him over the head. I don't think she meant to actually kill him. I think she was just trying to stop him. And she ends up, I mean, Wonder Woman cracking him across the head. He gone. Mallory, that's the camp I'm in. But I don't think she intended to actually kill him. I think if she had, been able to think about it and choose, she would have been like, okay, I was just trying to slow him down. I wasn't trying to kill him. Anyway, so he's laying there. They're all like, oh my gosh. The one glance she gave him fixed his appearance forever in Winnie's mind. She's talking about looking at Tuck as he's looking at the man in the yellow suit. She turned her eyes away quickly, looking to Tuck for relief, but Tuck was not looking back at her. Instead, he was gazing at the body on the ground, leaning forward slightly, his brows drawn down, his mouth a little open. It was as if he were entranced and, yes, envious, like a starving man looking through a window at a banquet. He was envious of, wishing it was him, wishing for, in his mind, the sweet release of death. He was thinking, man, I wish that I could do that. What a weird thing to be envious of. Very, very dark, but it makes sense the way he was trying to explain things about living forever to Winnie. Mm, but eventually he did. Whew, what a weird thing to be envious of, but we do understand it, I think. When Winnie returned home from the Tucks to the Touch Me Not cottage, why did her parents prefer to believe she had been kidnapped? Even after she told them, no, 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 they were good to me. They were kind to me. They took care of me. They're good people. They're like, no, 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 you were kidnapped. Well, no, they didn't know about the water. They had no idea about the water. All right, gross. Yes, they did. They noticed she was gone and they were looking for her and they thought she was kidnapped. Then she came back home and she explained to them, "No, I ran away. I did stay with them, but they didn't really kidnap me. They are not bad people. They're good people." And they were like, "No, no, you're confused. They kidnapped you." Now, why is it better for them in their minds to think that she had been kidnapped and taken from them rather than she had run away? It's a weird thing for them to want to believe that she had been kidnapped. Wouldn't it be better to think that she hadn't been kidnapped? Mallory. Juliet, it's kind of the same thread as Mallory. Ah, William, they needed an enemy, didn't they? They needed the Tucks to seem like, oh, they did it. Because if Winnie ran away, then it was Winnie's fault she was gone. Or, dare they think it, it might have been a bit their fault for treating her so harshly. Man, they don't want to think about they were the reason that she ran away, right? That's not very comforting at all. You need to think that it's the Tucks who are the bad guys. Whoo! Now she's sitting there going, "No, I ran away." "No, no, 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 you were kidnapped." It's like, dude, you're being told from the person who was there, yet they're still not believing it. Oh man, the imagination can make things sound true that are untrue, can't they? Jed, that's okay. It's not an easy question. Because it's about putting yourself in their mindset and thinking about how they think, and that's not easy for us to do. Put ourselves in another person's mind because, you're in your own mind, right? How do I pluck myself out of my brain and put myself in this character's brain? Oh, but they didn't want the enemy to be either Winnie or themselves. They needed the Tucks to be the enemies, them strange people. Very sad though. Very sad that they wouldn't believe her in that way. See if there are any other thoughts on that. See people typing. Then we'll move along. Excuse me, then we'll move along. I know, Colton, but let's not distract everybody. I know it's distracting you, but we don't have to do it to everybody. All right. Why does Natalie Babbitt, the author, mention heat over and over? Did you notice that? How she talked about things that were hot, or it felt uncomfortable, it was oppressive, it was so hot. Why do you think she talked about the heat so much? I bet there's some symbolism there in the heat. Well, it didn't seem like it was hot all the time. More information. The heat must have stood for something, though. Maybe it stood for heated conversations. Ooh, William, the heat seemed like a negative thing, didn't it? It could represent some anger. Maybe. Maybe. And anyway, in any case, the heat was an uncomfortable thing. Anytime that she would mention the heat, talking about the town, talking about the day, talking about whatever, the heat was a bad thing. Not like, oh, I love summer heat. It's like, ugh, this heat. And it was usually tied to something bad, like it represented something bad. These are gallows, right? So we know how it works. The gallows were blown over in the storm the same night that they busted May out of prison. What was the symbolism there that the gallows were blown over in the storm? There's your blueprint right there. It symbolizes defying death, doesn't it? Yes, the gallows represent death. And they escaped it. And she escaped prison the same night, kind of escaping them finding out about her immortality. Yep. Yep. That was definitely symbolic. Okay. Um, all right. So everybody found out about Winnie helping May Tuck get out of jail. Everybody found out. It made her more popular. How did it make her more popular? She was kind of invisible before, wasn't she, Colton? You busted somebody out of jail? That is so cool. Right, she was just this boring little rich girl before. And Siggy, that sounds like somebody who knows how small towns work. Think you live in a boring place and then somebody does something, interesting and it's like, "Oh, cool." You must know how small towns work though. It did though. It made her distinct. It made her seem cooler because she did something really brave and out there. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And right. It certainly does, doesn't it? Okay, Winnie was given some water. Jesse told her, "Hey, wait till you're 17 and then drink the water and I'll be back and we'll get married." And they had their whole plan. But she poured the water over the toad. What did that suggest about what she believed to be true? She didn't just pour it in the grass or she didn't just throw it away. She poured it over the toad, though. Did she believe? That's right. Fun fact, frogs and toads don't drink with their mouths, they absorb water through their skin. I think so too, Jed. I think it showed that she thought it was true. She didn't just like toss it over her shoulder and like, "Pff, this is so garbage." She was like, "Oh, well, I don't want it, but here you go, toad. Drink up." I don't know why a toad would want to live forever, but she decided he was going to. Paul, was that a Google? It's the right answer. Oh, Siggy. That could have created so many. Siggy's like, we'll start the bidding at $1 billion. And what did pouring the water over the toad suggest about her taking Tuck's warning? Did she take his warning or was she listening to him or did she just like that guy didn't know anything? Wasn't that cute? She was only what, 11, and she showed some big wisdom by listening to Tuck. That's pretty funny. Okay. Did we all catch what happens to the spring? Sure, said the counterman. Had a big electrical storm, though, about 3 years ago now or thereabouts. Big tree got hit by lightning, split right down the middle, caught fire and everything, tore up the ground, had to bulldozer all out. Ah, yeah, right. So why wasn't the tree immortal? I guess you could still move it. Well, he said an electrical storm struck a big tree. What tree did it strike? Oh, maybe we didn't catch what happened. The oak tree that the spring was underneath. Well, what do we think that the storm was? Heavenly Father going, okay, let's take that out of here. Let's remove this. I mean, the odds of a storm reaching down and taking just that one tree in the middle of this forest. Oh, that one. We're gonna take that out of here, huh? Exactly, Juliet. Light bulb. Yes, that's what happened. So the tree got removed, it got pulled out of the ground. I don't know what happens to a spring actually whenever, something like that were to happen, but clearly it was God saying, "Oh, right, let's close up this little spring here. We don't need this to be getting out." It almost got out once. Mm, the tucks are still immortal though, but the spring went away. No mo. Problem solved, right? Tuck had wanted Winnie's grave to be there. This is in the epilogue. But now that he saw it, he was overcome with sadness. Did he change his mind about her becoming immortal? Did he now want, oh, I wish Winnie had drank the water? Because he's sad that her grave was there. No. But he also said, good girl. So, as we say in our household, two things can be true at the same time, can't they? He can be glad she didn't drink the water, but be sad to have lost her. Two things can be true. He didn't change his mind. He's feeling two emotions at once. That's like, remember last year in Because of Winn-Dixie, if you were in English 1 with Miss Hill, the litmus lozenges tasted both sweet and sad at the same time. Like in Inside Out, the emotions get wrapped up together and you can feel two emotions at once. Sure, that's kind of like this. It's complicated, as we say. If you weren't, that's okay. You've seen Inside Out, though, right? Where as Riley gets older, yeah, she starts to feel multiple emotions at the same time sometimes. Yeah, it's the same kind of deal. He can feel glad that Winnie is not stuck in, living forever like them, but he misses her because, the family loves her. Oh my gosh, Inside Out 2, I cried so many times in that movie. Exactly, Siggy, and that's why he's glad that she did not drink the water and is not with them anymore, but he's also sad that he can't see her anymore. He's gonna miss her. All right, let's talk about paragraph structure. You guys are going to be writing a paragraph this week for your homework. Have you ever heard of a paragraph being like a hamburger with the buns on top and bottom and the stuff in between? All right, so that's new. Okay, good, Elsie. Some people have heard of it before. Just like a hamburger sandwich, a paragraph needs to have end caps on it, like the buns. We need a topic sentence, we need a conclusion sentence, and then we've got the goody stuff in between. What is the goody stuff in between the topic sentence and the conclusion sentence? Facts, details about what I'm writing about, right? Well, what is it about? Your writing assignment, what would you do with forever? So, your topic sentence, what would you do with forever? Gonna have to think about it for just a second. Might seem like this. This would be your first sentence, right? Your topic sentence. What I would do with forever is ... and fill in what your idea might be. Okay? Maybe your conclusion sentence would sound something like this. Live forever. But if I did something like that to end cap it at the bottom. I'm mentioning living forever to introduce my topic. What I would do if I lived forever is whatever. And then you kind of repeat that in a different type of sentence at the bottom, but you're still talking about living forever. Well, maybe I wouldn't want to live forever, but if I did, I would do this. Siggy, okay. Siggy, do you feel like you did it the way you wanted to? Siggy, this is why I don't recommend doing the homework of the week before we have the lesson, the live class, because you learn things in live class that you use to do the homework, almost like it's designed that way. So if you need to, come on now, dude. If you need to redo your assignment and resubmit it, I'll take it resubmitted, okay? Do you have to do it like this? Meaning, William, do you have to word your topic and conclusion sentence like I did? Oh, no, you can make your own topic sentence. This is just an example of what it might look like. And then, of course, your middle sentences are details. 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 What would let's see. What would I do if I had forever? I would probably travel the world, like Miles and Jesse. And I might even mention that if I'm writing a paragraph about it. What I would do if forever is I would travel the world like Miles and Jesse did. And maybe my detail sentences, my goody stuff inside of my hamburger sandwich would be the places that I would want to go. Okay. Maybe you would do death defying things if you knew that you couldn't die. You would live forever. And so you would do all the dangerous things. See there? Jed would ski all over the world. Right? Can't get hurt. Why not? Jed, we're not very far from Jackson Hole where we live. That's cool. About 3 hours. Elsie, not based on the book. So I would not want to live forever, but if I found myself in that situation like the Tucks did, then like you didn't mean to and don't have a choice. Oh, now I'm living forever. Oopsie. What would you do with it? Right, Colton. I mean in this physical world, not our eternal souls. But yeah, structure your paragraph like this, though. Have a topic sentence where you're introducing what you're talking about. If I live forever, this is what I would do, blah, blah, blah. And then end cap it with that nice conclusion sentence. It'll be similar to the introduction sentence, your conclusion, but you're kind of wrapping it up and giving those good details in the middle. Okay. You will be writing 5 to 7 sentences. I know that whenever we're younger, we learn, oh, a paragraph is 3 to 4 sentences, or maybe it's 3 to 5 sentences. Really, when we get to be more mature, better thinkers, right? We say that a good paragraph is 5 to 7 sentences. Elsie, you'll be fine. Just use your imagination, okay? And then you've got MLA format that you're going to be doing. There is a video in this week's folder that you need to watch if you don't know what MLA format is. I teach it in the video so that you can, listen to it, watch it, and then pause it and do your thing. And then you can go back to it. Oh, okay, this is not what I do next. And you pause it and you go do the thing. Good, good. I hope that this is a fun writing prompt. Some aren't as fun that we do in here, but this one, I like it because you can use your imagination and it's like a what if. I know, right? Okay. Any other questions about the writing assignment this week? Well, William, I would like for you to type it though, so it doesn't matter what your handwriting is. Tap it for me. Arguably, our handwriting as a whole is getting worse because that's what we do mostly is type. Okie dokie. That's what you're doing this week, everybody. You do have that action and linking verb quiz, just like what we practiced earlier today. You're reading some more of Paragraph Town, you're reading some of Grammar Town, but mostly we're focusing on that what would you do with forever writing assignment is kind of our bulk of this week. Yeah, Paul, give me just a second to wrap up. We are on fall break next week, remember, so no class next Tuesday. You have 2 weeks to finish all of the work. All righty? Okay. Paul, give me the song that you were thinking of. If you need to go, we're a couple minutes early, you're dismissed. If you don't need to stay, so stick around if you want to hear what Paul wants to share. Colton, you can. Aw. Here, I'll make you a presenter. How about that? He's got his mic going. I can hear it. I can hear, yeah, what's going on in the background, sure. No song yet, though. Oh,
He's mad because I'm holding him.
that's a big cat.
Yeah, he's big.
He's adorable.
Ugh.
Love it. He's like, put me down.
Ugh. You can go back to.
I'm digging your chair, dude.
He's heavy.
Holy moly, that's a big cat. Paul, you got that song coming for us, dude? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he's unmuted. He's got microphone. Right, use my cat. Paul, here's what you can do. If you found the song on like YouTube or something, you can copy and paste the link and then we can listen to it on our own. You know, you can talk, buddy. Your mic is on and we're hearing you typing.
Oh.
You're like hammering away on the keyboard and we're like, just say it.
You could just Google it.
Okay. Is it Speak Life?
No, it's called the Wellerman.
The Weatherman. Okay.
Wellerman.
Wellerman. Come here, Google. Oh, there we go. All right. Cool. I will look it up right after class here, but I'm going to let you guys go. Cool. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks, okay?